Hello, everybody, and welcome back to English class. My name is Miss Fred, and I'm going to be going over our last quarter of assignments, which is going to be focused around the novel, The Great Gatsby. I know we haven't read a novel yet in English class this year, so I think this is the perfect time to do it. I chose a novel that's on the shorter side, but it's packed full of things that are relevant for what you're going through in your lives today. It is such a great novel, and we're going to really dig deep into it. When you look through your modules, it's going to feel like there's a lot of things going on and a lot of work. But instead of giving you an assignment where I say, read The Great Gatsby and then do all of these assignments, we're really going to take everything step by step so that you can find the most effective way to read a book and be successful in reading your novel. So just take everything one step at a time, and please message me if you have any questions. I'll share my screen and I will let you know what it is that we're doing in The Great Gatsby. So as you can see, this is what your module looks like. Now I have everything locked so that you can't complete components of the module without completing ones beforehand. So if you try to go through your to-do list, you're going to find that you can't open certain things. And that's because it's designed that way on purpose so that you go through the modules in order. This video is going to cover an overview of The Great Gatsby, and then subsequent videos are going to cover different aspects of your assignments within The Great Gatsby. The first thing that you can open is the Great Gatsby overview. This is going to tell you everything that we're going to be doing for the last couple of months of school. So everything that we're going to do together in April and May is going to be overviewed here. So let's just go through this together. The first thing we're going to do is look at the module overview. And this is going to explain to you what we're going to do this 9 weeks. So we're going to study the Great Gatsby with in-depth character analysis and evaluate how Fitzgerald uses the character of Gatsby as well as other literary devices to comment on the society and values of the American 1920s. So this is something that was happening 100 years ago, and it is really cool to think about what has stayed the same today versus what is different. Our essential questions for this unit are about wealth and social class. So how far can one go to break boundaries that separate the classes? How far should one go to break boundaries that separate the classes? Also, memory and the past. Is the past a boundary we cannot overcome, or is the future a boundary we cannot overcome? So it's really thinking about our past and how it aligns with our future, and thinking about what we want for our future, which is what our final paper is going to be about. When you go through here, you're going to see these course objectives linked with the national standards for English so that you understand exactly why we're learning something and how it connects to our standards. And then we have our module objectives. So these are the objectives that we're going to do every single day that tie into our state standards. And these are the activities that we're going to be doing. So we're going to be annotating chapters of The Great Gatsby for vocabulary, setting, relationship, character development, history, and then asking questions. We're going to take detailed notes on the reading, answering questions about themes, quotations, settings, and historical contexts. And we're going to do comprehension and analysis questions for each chapter of The Great Gatsby. So these are going to show up looking like separate assignments, but really they're all tied together. You can't really take detailed notes until you've done the reading, and you can't really do the reading or answer comprehension questions unless you have taken some significant notes. So instead of just throwing these comprehension questions out there, I have made it possible for you to go through it step by step so that you have the tools that you need to answer these questions to the best of your ability. This is going to be something that really carries you through into college for those of you who are choosing to go on to community college or school, to teach you how to read in an academic way. Okay, the next thing we're going to do in this is we're going to create open-ended discussions about social and economic traits of the Roaring Twenties, such as gender norms, race, technology, fashion, economy, and engage with questions from other students. This is where we're going to really look at the deep issues of the 1920s and discuss them, but you guys are going to be facilitating those discussions yourself. Then the next thing is I can write a compare and contrast essay exploring the similarities and differences between the 1920s and 2020s. So there are so many things going on today that were also relevant in the 20s, in the roaring 20s, but there are also things that are completely different, and you're going to be comparing and contrasting the two. We're going to do a creative project where we design a book cover for The Great Gatsby, and then we're going to write a personal essay about your green light, referencing the text. There'll be more on this later. I don't want to spoil what the green light is for you since we haven't started reading The Great Gatsby yet. As you can see, this module is going to take about 5 weeks to complete, and it's going to take about 3 to 4 hours per week. So if you're logging into your Canvas class for a half hour each day, as you should be, and you're working at a good pace, you should be able to accomplish this in about 3 hours per week. Now, some of us read a little bit slower and some of us read a little faster, but what I have designed this timetable on as the slower for a slower writer and a slower reader. So it might take you less time than this, but it likely won't take you more time than this. If you do find yourself struggling, you can always meet with me in an office hour and we can work on things together. So this is going to be our task. The nice thing about this book is it's very short. If you were to listen to the audiobook, it would take less than 5 hours, or if you were reading at 150 words per minute, which is on the slower end for students about your age to be reading. So don't worry about the book being too long. It's quite a short book. The annotating is going to take you a little bit of extra time. So I would imagine it'll take about 20 minutes per chapter to annotate. And again, annotating, don't let that word scare you. It is just highlighting and circling things in the text. We'll talk about that more. The reading activities that we're going to do are reading The Great Gatsby. We're going to read an article in the 1920s, and then we're also going to watch a video on the 1920s. And then this is a schedule of your assignments for the next few weeks. So you can begin as early as today and you can work through here. I don't mind if you work ahead, but I don't recommend you power through without getting some feedback first, because I would hate for you to, for example, annotate the whole book in one day, do it wrong, and then have to redo some of that work. So wait to get a little bit of feedback, or message me if you have questions, and then you are welcome to work ahead as long as you are taking into account the feedback and applying those things. You can go over this timetable and just make sure that you're doing everything correctly. And then we're going to go ahead and work through this module. So now that you've started this, we can work through the next part of the module, which is going to be a vocabulary assignment, and you can find that in the next video. As always, please message me if you have any questions, and feel free to schedule an office hour with me if you're not sure what to do or if you need a little extra assistance. And I will see you all in the next video.